however you want to say it. People were writing, they were writing their books for themselves, right? I don't know. I'm rambling. That doesn't make sense. But okay, so back to diversity in comics. Okay, listen to this guy. It was really funny, some of the stuff that he was doing. But he also had some really good book reviews, right? So this is like, hey, this is the end of the garbage, or this is the shiny stone that's in the bottom of that cesspool, right? Okay, that cesspool's a little bit dramatic, but you know what I'm saying. Here we go. Flash forward. It's 2018 now. Good lord. And now I'm picking up Captain America number 697. All right. Due to his recommendation, said it's a really good book. And Mark Waid. Now, I've heard a lot about Mark Waid and about all of his political shenanigans, and that he kind of goes off the rails sometimes, right? Maybe, but who doesn't, right? But he is a good writer, and I do enjoy most of Mark Waid's stuff. So this was good to see him back in action, writing something that's adventurous. Right now, I'm not really entirely sure what I can show about this. I don't own any of these characters or any of the rights to these. I just own the books. Okay, so Marvel is who owns all this stuff, and everybody owns their own names and yada yada, whatever. Copyright this, copyright that. Okay, so just reading through it, I read through it. It was good. It was way better than the last set of Marvel books that I read. So there was no grandstanding. There was no political profiling. This was just it was Captain America. It was Steve Rogers, Captain America. Okay, and he wasn't a Nazi. He was. It really didn't even show him being like the golden boy, right? Like he wasn't even the Boy Scout anymore. He was normal. He was having a little bit of fun. Apparently waiting for Logan to show up. I don't know. That doesn't really specify whether or not they were supposed to meet up, or whether that was like a chance meeting that they kind of missed. Whatever. If you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. It just had a lot of fun. Now one of the things that I liked the most about it was Craven. Craven the Hunter was brought in. He was brought in to do what he does best. He is the hunter. Now Craven is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains of all time. Now I know everybody loves the symbiote suit. Everybody loves Venom. Carnage is crazy, right? Everybody loves those guys. And the Green Goblin. They're all top-notch people, top-notch villains. But these two right here, the Hobgoblin and Kraven the Hunter, are probably my two favorite villains. And I think these guys really put Spider-Man through the ringer. They're very, very psychological things. If anybody's ever read Kraven's Last Hunt, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's some really just like guttural trauma that you can experience vicariously through Peter Parker in those books. And this right here too, like the Hobgoblin, where he leads up to this one right here, where he's so over the top after Hobgoblin, and he swears that if he catches him, there'll be hell to pay, right? So Spider-Man, but he finally gets him and he unmasks him, and spoiler warning, and it winds up being Flash Thompson, his buddy. So, however, dun dun dun, is it really Flash Thompson? The world may never know. So, like, this storyline was great, and all because these two villains are powerful. They're intelligent. They're strategists. They know exactly what's going to happen. They are so far ahead of Spider-Man that like his spider sense can't even catch up, right? Now, here lately, and I know, like, let's see, I got this guy. In this book, the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl #1, which I got the Scotty Young variant. I was really hoping that this would be like good, like it would be fun. I knew it was kind of going to be written towards kids, I was really hoping this would be something that I could show my daughter. That uh, that that you don't have to be mega powerful or what. I don't know. It was just something I was hoping I could show my daughter. This I really like the character. Steve Ditko obviously is one of my all time favorites. The guy's like, he's super weird recluse, but he's a legend. And who knows? Maybe the whole reason that he stayed sane all these years is because he won't talk to anybody. But that's besides the point. So he made Squirrel Girl, and he really likes. You can tell like a bunch of his characters that he's created, that Steve Ditko's created, that he really enjoys the underdog, right? Or the unassuming characters. Okay, like even Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a high school kid who had spider powers, right? That doesn't sound intimidating when you first think about it. But it wound up being some of the greatest set of superpowers ever. He's not OP, right? He's not Superman that they have to create new strange situations for him to get in. Uh, that's mostly involving kryptonite or some red sun or some weird power that just nullifies his power. They basically have to turn him human in order to put him in danger. Well, Spider-Man is like almost always in danger. Right? There's no villain that he goes up against that can't just completely wipe him out, given a little bit of luck. Now, same thing with Squirrel Girl, right? She was going to be this unassuming, innocent little critter. Also, Hawk and Dove from DC. Those are two. That's just off the top of my head. These are all characters that Ditko created. That they just they're unassuming little animals, but can certainly turn the tide of battle. Now, Squirrel Girl kind of got out of hand, and it wound up being that she could just destroy whatever. But as long as it was off panel, Squirrel Girl could take care of it. All right, but aside from this brilliant, gorgeous Scotty Young cover, this is awful, and it's awful because Kraven the Hunter is the villain, but it's not this guy. It is not this guy at all. He's some weird, I don't know, quasi-anime, very just weak facsimile of himself that, I don't know, this made me mad. And there at no point in time was anybody ever in any danger from that Kraven. That Kraven could not hurt anybody. It was impossible. Now, as far as I'm concerned, what makes a great comic book is a great villain. Villains are the most instrumental part of any comic book series, of any greatness, right? And they don't have to be, again, they don't have to be the mega villains, the almost unstoppable villains like Darkseid. I really think DC's kind of got their hands full writing Superman and Darkseid, because you got this unstoppable, practically a god in both Superman and Darkseid. So like, what do you do? Well, where's the danger? They're just gonna punch each other for eternity until one of them turns into the actual god and then just erases the other one. Lex Luthor, on the other hand, primo villain. Love that guy. He's conniving. He's very, very mortal, but he surpasses that, like in ways where having a set of generic superpowers, like he couldn't. Like they have to overcome their limitations, but to them they're not limitations. I don't know. So some of my favorite stories, right? Like this right here, the Amazing Spider-Man number 283. Really good stories, really good. I mean, you got the Absorbing Man here, right? And he's not like super impressive. And then you have Titania, right? I think that's how it's pronounced. Titania, I don't know, something. But this is right after Secret Wars, where Spider-Man had the black suit. Now Titania was in the Secret Wars, and Spider-Man kind of took it to her, right? Like he brought his A game, and she wasn't ready for it, and he took her out. And ever since then, like, well, you find out in this issue, I believe, that she has like this overwhelming fear of Spider-Man, and so like the whole battle, the whole time, the whole book, She's trying to overcome her fear. He's trying to. Creel is trying to get her out of her slump to fight Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man's like taking on both of them. But they're written really well, and they wind up being very good villains for this little fight. Like they actually put Spider-Man on the ropes there for a little bit. So this is one of my favorite books because the villains are written so well. All right, they're not super powerful. They're in league, right? And at first, when you first think about it, it's like, oh yeah, Spider-Man's gonna have no problem taking out these two guys. But no, they really turn the tide of battle on him a couple of times. And one more thing I'm gonna show, like Kraven the Hunter. All right, so this is my trade back of Spider-Man Blue. Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale. I love Tim Sale's artwork. It's gorgeous. He uses shadows so well, and like if he did a whole black and white book, just kind of noir type crime or whatever, I would just love it. I would eat it up. And I love the way he draws Mary Jane Watson. She is absolutely gorgeous. Just some of the quick picks. I don't know how much I can show this, but I love their color series that Loeb and Sale did. Daredevil yellow, Captain America white. There's a Hulk one too. I think it's gray. Did they go gray with that one? But this has Kraven in it, and yeah, it winds up being he was one of the masterminds behind all this, right? So all these other super villains that came through, the Vulture, Doc Ock was in there. They all kind of just were really making Spider-Man's life a little uncomfortable, and there's a couple times when he got sick in there, and I think he dislocated his shoulder once. But it's like the whole first 200 issues of Spider-Man. I don't know. Yeah, the first 100 issues of Spider-Man minus Morbius, and throw it in here, slap it together, and you got Spider-Man Blue. It's great, and because the art is beautiful, right? I mean, this is a visual medium, and the villains are dangerous. They're dangerous. They're not dangerous here, and this is one of the many reasons I left Marvel for so long. Here, this Kraven is dangerous. And this was so much fun to read, and it was really quick. It was over quick. The books before I left, the books, they were just like, they were taking forever to read, and I'm like, oh gosh, hold on, the phone, it's gonna focus one day. The books were taking forever to read, and I realized that they were taking forever to read was because I wasn't enjoying reading them. So, focus. Get out of here. Come on. Now, and I hope this trend goes back. I hope this settles everything. Wade, you're a good writer. You really are. When you apply yourself and you don't write real world stuff. This isn't for real world things. They're comics. They're written for kids, and like I'm an adult, right? I guess, but there's a kid in me who still loves this stuff and needs it. So please write more like this. Leave everything else for Twitter. You know, you can go ham and just I don't know, run your mouth all over Twitter if you want. That doesn't befront me. But please continue to make good books, and I will read them, and I will buy them every single week. Marvel, please keep this up. This was good. I want to see more things like this. It doesn't matter who they are. The villains need to be dangerous, and the action should be fun. I don't know. They should just be good books. So please. This was a good book. I recommend this. I picked it up off of a recommendation from Zach at Diversity in Comics, and I hope he doesn't mind me using it or talking about him here. If you do, I guess, write me. Tell me to shut up. That's fine. I can take it. But yeah, and if you haven't read Spider-Man Blue, really good. Actually, I read this every year on Valentine's Day. right? Every year on Valentine's Day, I break out Spider-Man Blue and read through it and punish myself for, uh, I don't know, for something. Any of the Hobgoblin series, especially this one from 278, 279, all the way, I think this goes up to like 283 before you finally figure out like who the real Hobgoblin is. Primo cover. This is a beautiful cover. Look at this cover. This is just gorgeous, right? And if you can get a hold of 238, this one, oh, there's so much intrigue in here. Not a lot of action, but a lot of intrigue, and the action's in 239, right? So this is pretty good. Also, don't sell Creel short, man. The Absorbing Man, he can put it to people. So thanks very much. I'm sorry if this video wound up being long. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Please let me know what I could do better. Probably better camera work, stuff like that. I'll know the basics. Maybe I'll get like a stand and some better lighting. That's what I need. I need better lighting. I need one of my kids to hold the flashlight for me. All right, but thank you for watching, and here I am signing out.